Welcome back to Chats with Chang. This is a bit of it's a different episode. I guess it's the second episode. Um, we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about emotions, feelings. It's gonna be one of those deeper ones. I think I don't even know if I'm gonna post this one. There's a lot of things I want to talk about when it comes to this because to me this is such a big deal, and I think it's something that I struggle with controlling my emotions. Sometimes I struggle with the decision making whilst being quite emotional. I think I make mistakes when I'm emotional. I think I don't realize it. I guess I do realize it, but I think I struggle to control myself sometimes when it comes to emotions. And it's tough because it's so easy to get caught up in them. Hey, it's so easy to feel a certain way, and when you're in the moment, feel like that's all that there is. I'm a very emotional person, and yes, the chair is still here. I struggle to keep my emotions in check, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, you know. I think being emotional and being aware of how emotional that I am, I think it's a good thing. I mean, that self-awareness is a good thing. But I think I feel feelings very hard. Let me explain. Very classic. When I fall in love, and I don't often, I've twice. I mean, I'm only 22, so I guess that's quite often. I don't know. Twice. You know, and when I fall in love, I fall hard. I do. I fall hard, and I think that's because I avoid falling in love. That when it happens, it's like I can't help it, which is a good thing to an extent. It's a good thing when you don't have to unfall in love. That's always the case, isn't it? It's love is a good thing until it isn't. Feelings, emotions are a good thing until they aren't, until they become more of a burden. It's not something that can be controlled because that's what they are. They're feelings and emotions. And it just gets so difficult. I don't want to feel the way I feel right now. I don't. But I can't help it. And I've taken steps to try and help it, but I can't. The tough reality of the matter is that I feel the way that I currently do, and there isn't a whole lot I can do about it. There isn't a whole lot I can do to change it. Sorry. So the next best thing is to deal with it, and I struggle with that too. It's not easy. It's tough. I struggle so much. I have crap nights. I've crap days. I've crap weeks. I can't keep them in check sometimes. The emotions just go at it, and they just go at me, and I can't do anything about it. And that's just who I am. That's just how people are sometimes, you know, and that's okay. It's okay to feel things. It's okay to be sad, to be happy, to be angry. It's all human emotions that are natural, and it's okay. You know, I saw this video. I was on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. I enjoy that. I saw this video where it was The Simpsons. That's right. And of all things, it was a clip from The Simpsons, and I don't know if it's real or not, but it's a clip from The Simpsons where was it The Simpsons? No, Family Guy. No, South Park. South Park. That's right. It was South Park. It was South Park. And I don't know if it's real or not. I don't know if this is a fake clip or if it was real. But it was one of the dudes had just recently got dumped by his girlfriend, and he was really sad. Of course he was. And it was a rainy day, and he was sitting on the side path, and his friend comes up to him and he's like, "How are you feeling?" You know. He's like, "Yeah, I'm sad, but I'm also happy." To me, how can you be happy? You know, your girlfriend just broke up with you. Things are tough. And he goes, "I'm happy because I'm sad, and I know that I'm sad because of how good times have been. That's the only way I know that this is bad and that this is sad for me, because I've had good times, and it's okay. It's okay to be sad. It's encouraged. When something bad happens, you're supposed to be sad. You're supposed to struggle. You're supposed to have days and nights and weeks that are tough. It's natural. It's only natural. And in my case, when it's something that's so good, when you lose something that you perceive to be so good, when you lose something that you perceive to be so positive whilst being in the situation, it takes it out of you. And it does, and it's supposed to take it out of you. If it doesn't take it out of you, what does that say about the situation, right? I mean, my exact situation, if she breaking up with me was okay, if I was happy about it or if I wasn't sad about it, then what does it say about the relationship itself, right? No. It wasn't real, then I didn't feel the way I actually felt if I was okay with it. And it's a reminder of how good things were. I know that sounds even sadder, but it's okay. And I'm in a place right now in my life where I can look back. I can look back at the months that I had with her, and then I can look back at the months that I had without her. And for the first 2 months, first 2 months, it was tough. It's okay to acknowledge and recognize feelings and emotions, because it was tough. And it was supposed to be tough, you know? If it wasn't tough, that's not a good thing. That's it's supposed to be tough, and it's supposed to be tough. I wasn't ready, you know, and you never really are ready when something like that happens. You're not. With that being said, there are relationships that go downhill quite quickly, and I guess you know it's coming, but I didn't. You know, I mean, I knew the night before, but you know, 24 hours before it happened, I was on top of the world. And that's gonna lead me to the next thing about perceived happiness. It's an interesting little concept, isn't it? Perceived happiness. The idea that no matter how bad or how good a situation may be, the way a person perceives it becomes more relevant than the reality. Now let me explain. Let's say I'm just gonna do it. Alright, so to me, the relationship with Sarah was good. I was happy. And yes, we did fight. And yes, we were different people. And yes, it wasn't gonna work. But I was happy. And the way I saw it was that it was a good relationship, that it was okay, and that wasn't the way she saw it. And that's okay, because even if she was wrong, and that it was more good than bad, it doesn't even matter at that point, does it? Because she perceived it as bad, and that's really all that matters when it comes to relationships. It's how you perceive the situation. So it didn't matter how good it may have actually been. She perceived it as bad, and that's enough, and that was enough. It should have been enough. It's a good thing that she ended it, because she saw it as bad. You know, she was doing what she felt was best for herself. And then you could flip the coin and go the other way, where it might have been bad it might have actually been bad, and it almost didn't matter how bad it was because I perceived it as good. So to me, the relationship was a good one, but I could have been wrong. It could have just been the way I perceived the relationship. And it's tough to argue with someone's perception when it comes to doing what's best for themselves. How do you? You know, what can you do? You know, if I told one of my friends, right, if I called Eden Conway and I told him I need space because I feel it's what's best for me, if he cared about me, he would give me space because I'm doing what I feel is best for myself. So what am I supposed to do in a situation where she tells me that this is what's best for her, and I can't do anything about it? And this is where it's tough for me, because I would do anything for the people that I love. And there's nothing I could do. There's nothing. And it's hard. It's hard for me to... It was hard for me to accept that. You know, in the moment, in the weeks after, in the months, it was tough for me to accept the fact that there was nothing I could do. And sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing, and that doesn't work for me. That's not how I function as a person. It's not. I don't. If I see that there's some, I would do anything for the people that I love. Anything. I would. There's no limits. There isn't. I would do anything for the people I love. I don't care what that does to me. And I never have. You know, and this is a good and a bad thing, you know? You always want to have self-respect, but the way I see it, it's not even about that. It's about what's more important to me, right? I'll give you an example with, and we're gonna go with an easy friendship example, right? I like to look at, and I struggle with this, but I would love to say that I look at relationships based on value. So what I mean by this is, if a disagreement or argument arises, what's more valuable, right? Winning the argument or maintaining the peace in the relationship? Now, I struggle with that, but the logic stands where I'm gonna take the L every time when it comes to people that I love. I'm happy to, because the relationship, the peace and love in the relationship is more important to me than anything else. It's more important than what movie we watch. It's more important than what food we eat tonight. It's more important than what plans we have, because all I want is for them to be happy. Because that makes me happy. And I know you're not supposed to base your happiness on somebody else's happiness, but why not? Why can't I go out and do what I feel would make somebody else happy? Why not live my life wanting to make the people I love happy? Why not? Sure, it may not be super self-sustainable, but I don't even care. It's tough. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if this is a sustainable way of living life. And then we're gonna go talk specifically about relationships. Does it work? Does my way of loving somebody work? Because it didn't. Not this time, it didn't. It wasn't enough. Okay. Let me rephrase. It wasn't right. And I could easily pin that on the fact that she just wasn't right for me. But I don't believe in that. I don't believe in people being right for other people. It just doesn't. I get the personality types matter. I get that people fit better with people. I get that. But once you introduce love into the equation, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. It doesn't. It doesn't. I've got a small scale example here where one of my best friends right now, Cameron Tong, talk about him a lot. He's one of my best mates. I spend time with him all the time. But you look at us, if you put our personalities on paper, put our likes and dislikes on paper, and the way that we are on paper, it doesn't make people best friends. No, we're very different people. Okay. And I understand that with friendship and dating, it's different. Just burp, sorry. But to me, once you introduce love, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. If two people can sit and have a chat and have chats, can go spend time together, can go out and have a good time together, can do all this stuff together, the despite how different they may be, and still love each other. There's no types. I don't there's I'm gonna get roasted for this because yes, I do have a type. I get yes. But if you if I love somebody, I love somebody. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. To me, love is always enough. And it's always a good enough reason to keep going. I don't care. I don't. Not about personality types, not about compatibility. None of it. I don't. Love transcends all of that. And it always has. And it always will. I don't care. And that's why it's so hard for me. You know, the entire time my relationship with Sarah, and this does come down to who she is also, in terms of personality, because she was quite self-conscious, and she doubted herself a lot, which I found was it was tough. It was tough to see somebody that I loved doubting themselves. But I think she's doing better at that. I think she is, and I hope she is. I hope she's doing well. But while we were in a relationship, or even before that, there was a lot of, why do you want to be friends with me? Why do you love me? You don't love me. What's the reason? No, like, what's the reason here? Like, it doesn't make any sense. We're so different, me and you. And I get it. Like, I get why she would say that. Okay, I get why she would think that. It makes sense, right? Surely it makes sense that why would two very different people that have that was one of our running jokes at the start of our friendship, was that we had nothing in common. The only thing we had in common was how much we liked each other and how much we got along. And to me, that's all that matters. I don't care. Yeah, it'd be nice to do things that we like together. Yeah, it'd be nice if I found a girlfriend that also loved the NBA. Sure, fine, but it doesn't come down to that to me. It doesn't. I don't care. I don't. It's all about the feelings between the two people. That's all that matters to me. And if I love somebody, I will do what it takes. I'll do whatever. I'll do whatever, right? So to me, the differences don't matter. Because I'll do whatever. And maybe that doesn't work. I was talking to Eden the other day, maybe a month or two ago, talking about this, about the concept of love transcending every other aspect of a relationship. And I think one of the things that we talked about was how it might be a bit, intimidating, right? The fact that I would be willing to do whatever for a girl, if I loved the girl, the fact that I'd be willing to do whatever because it doesn't matter to me, might be intimidating. And I think it was for Sarah, and it makes sense. It's how do I phrase this? It's pressure. It's pressure, and it's not like obviously it's not on purpose. I'm not like I love you this much and I expect you to love me that much too. But there's always going to be that pressure of, and I'm not saying always, sorry, in that scenario there was always that pressure of he loves me more than I love him, which again I was fine with. But it makes sense as to why that the pressure is there, and it's fair, and it makes sense, and it's understandable, and I don't know how to turn it off. I don't. That's how I am. That's how I love. And I don't know how to turn it. I don't want to turn it off. I don't. Anything else doesn't make sense to me. Wait, nothing else makes sense. Yeah, nothing else makes sense to me. That's it. That's what love is to me. But that's. But I also understand that that's not how everybody shows love, and that's okay. You know, I'm not expecting that from somebody else. In fact, that's the whole point of the way that I love, is that I'm not expecting anything from somebody else, because that doesn't. I love them. And I know they love me, and that's enough, because it's love above all. It's tough. I mean, there's not a lot I can do about this, because there's not a lot I want to do about it. That's just the way I am. But it makes sense as to why that can be tough to be with. You'd think that a guy that would love unconditionally and do whatever unconditionally would be a dreamboat, would be easy, but it's not how it works. And I think what's tough in society now is that it doesn't. It's hard to believe, right? People like there's no way, right? There's no way. Surely Chang wants something out of this. Sure, there's no way he's just doing like. There's something's up here, because he's there's no chance, right? And I get that. That's fair. You know, it's. But that's just it. That's just the reality for me. And I don't know if it's healthy. It's tough. This whole thing is tough. It's not an easy topic, and it's not an easy subject for me personally, because I've been burned twice. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but I also don't date a lot. So 2 for 2. Well, I guess, yeah, in the bad way. Yeah. And I like to tell myself, you know, this is why I don't fall in love. Because I don't want to have to unlove, because I don't unlove people. I just don't. It's not a thing. I guard myself so well against this kind of thing. But that's just how it works, right? You got a stream. Well, analogy. You got a bit of a stream, and if you guard yourself enough, the stream builds up. That like the water's coming and it just keeps building. So when I finally let go, finally give in, it just you get the picture. And I can't. I mean, it's not that I can't, but it takes a very long time, and it's a huge struggle for me, and I just don't want to have to unlove. Nobody does. It's not just me. Nobody does. Which is why I don't, because I might have to unlove. My relationships were many years apart. The last one was the tough ending, 2015, January. All the way till 2020, 5 years. which may not seem like a long time, but those are my only 2 relationships. 22. Quarter of my life in terms of waiting. It's a long time. It's tough. I don't know where I'm at. I don't, you know, and we're coming up to 6 months. It's almost 6 months time since it happened, and I don't know where I'm at. I've tried different things. I've put myself out there. I just don't know where I'm at. It's tough. It's tough. And it's annoying too, because I don't need it. I don't like this. I don't like feeling this. Because I don't. This is only the 2nd time in my life I've felt this, and I don't like it. But I really like the other feeling. And there's that risk, always that inherent risk of both feelings. I wish I didn't like the other feeling. I mean, everybody likes the other feeling, so I'm not the only one, so I'm not that much of a freak. There's a lot of silences in this video, I'm realizing. A lot of stare off into the distance, kind of think a little bit, kind of vibes. But I think that's the nature of this conversation with myself in front of a computer. I love podcasts. This is fun. It's a real intimate one, isn't it? It's real deep. I think it's quite funny. This podcast itself, this session, is very much indicative of who I am, of the way that I love. I can't just have a normal conversation about it. I gotta go deep, and it's yeah. You make the link. It's also 3:30 a.m. right now. It's normally when I have these kind of conversations. Ah, man. I don't know. If anyone has any ideas, any comments, feedback, I'm interested to see what you guys have to say, because it's an interesting topic. It is. I enjoy this because it helps for me to talk about it. I think, yeah, it's good. Definitely won't be the last time I'm talking about this on the podcast. I think the next time I'll have Eden on here with me. Have a chat about this. Maybe get Cammy too. Yeah. Anyways, I think I'll call it there. It is really late and I'm tired, and I think it's been a good session. It's been a good chat. I'll see you guys next time.